Alright, I got the dash kind of shaped up. Got the fiberglass ground off, and then put some bondo on there. Just about ready to hit it. So there is the center console with my new little addition added on here. Good, bad, or ugly, I did it. So it's gonna add in with part of the design I'm doing. So I'm not a designer, I'm not an artist, so I have trouble trying to dream up schemes and designs and thinking it's gonna look good. So I kinda just gotta decide on something and go with it, and then live with it. So here we go. Okay, let's get the look at the tape I got going on here. And it's kind of just on there loosely, but that's going to show my trim. In other words, I'm going to have a trim color which is going to be red where that tape is. I haven't exactly said what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to involve those trim lines. It's kind of broken up, kind of random. Boy, I sat and stared for a long time trying to figure out how to add some accent to the interior, and my console is so weird, and nothing really flows. So yeah, I kind of had to do a broken up line type of a design for an accent in there. And like I said earlier, I'm not an artist. I really struggle trying to figure out things like that. And normally, I think so long and hard, I come up with so many different designs, and I never can settle on anything, so I end up with something plain. All the cars I do are pretty much plain, no graphics, no nothing on them, because I can never decide on a design. It's kind of funny. But this one, I kind of got a theme, kind of got a design, which is just black, and then carbon fiber, and then a little bit of red peeking through here and there, you know, like the calipers, the air filter, some red accents on the inside. So just a little bit of red peeking through that you kind of got to move your eye and look at, you know, including the accents on the inside. There's just not a red line you see. You kind of have to move your eye and to see it. So anyway, like I said on the forum, plan your work, work your plan. So that's what I'm going to do, and we're going to go with it. Working on the center console, I just sanding off that layer of glaze, and you know, a few of the guys are kind of wishing I'd show how I did some of this stuff instead of just waiting until it's done and then showing it. You know, it's after you get the general shape, you know, with your 40 grit, I like to put that glaze on there. And we were discussing on the forum There was a guy even talking about how he thins it down and sprays it through a gun, and like a gel coat gun, you know, and I imagine that just gets a nice smooth application, you know, because even as good as I put this on there, you still got ridges and that you have to sand off first before you get down to the next lower level, and that's hard to do unless you really know what you're doing. So the smoother you can put it on, the easier it's going to be to sand off and get it right without having to keep putting more and more on there. But when I'm taking this down, what I do is I focus on the flat areas, and you know, like this spot here, I made sure and get that flat and true, this spot here flat and true, and then I take my trim ring and draw a line around there, and now when I get these other surfaces up to it, I know just exactly how far to bring that down to get it to look square. And notice I don't touch the corners at all. You know, I'll bring that edge down, that surface down to where I want it, and then the last thing I'll do is I'll go around and I'll make all the edges exactly the same. I'll give them all the same bevel, all the same look, at least attempt to do that. So that's kind of where I'm at now. You know, I'll fine tune this line here. After this level's flat, this one's flat, this one's flat, this one's flat. So there it is. Now when I get this done, it's pretty much done. There's going to be a couple spots, like right here I still got a little bit of a low spot. There's going to be a couple pinholes that'll show up. And I'll make sure that all my edges that will be seen, you know, underneath right here, make sure all those edges are just perfect. So there we are. Get that piece done and tidy up these ones down here. There is some primer. Got all these pieces primered. Well, three of them. Three of them primered, so these are pretty much done. Probably not though, because I'll take that down with 600, and if I did my job good enough, which you never do. See, there's a little pinhole. So I'll probably have to go back over, sand it with 600, find anything that isn't right, put a little more primer on them. But that's it right there in a nutshell, minus a couple of drips. Yeah, I'm using this bomb can primer rather than mixing it up in my gun. Seems to be working pretty good. It's expensive though. It's like 20 bucks a can, so not something you want to go get 5 cans of and just spray out in 10 minutes and be done with it. The crap is expensive. And then we got this piece here, which I'm going to put primer on this morning. And then I'll get back into the covers in there, pull those out, finish them up for good, and get primer on all that stuff. And then I want to do a nice cleanup in my garage. It's been like this for like 2-3 weeks, and I'm getting sick of it. So we'll do a little cleanup here and see if we can't get some more organization going. But yeah, I've been gone, so haven't been doing much work on this thing. Life kind of gets in the way. It happens. Work, life. So once in a while we got to stop and take care of business. And I got to stop a little bit and take care of some other stuff. I'm going to film, I'm going to make some more videos of a different car that I'm going to be working on. I got a supercharged little wide body Scirocco. You guys may have seen in my videos. Well, I'm going to start working on that again. I got to put a new supercharger on it, which will be bigger and better. And I'll show a video of that. And then I got a pickup truck, a diesel that I bought, and I got to do some head work on that, and I might as well video that and put it up. So you guys watch for those videos too if you want, especially that Scirocco. That thing's pretty badass. So working hard, fixing a couple little pinholes. I got a grill made for that speaker there. I just cut apart the grill that it came with and bent it so it'd fit that circle, and then just kind of rounded it over, and I'll glue that in after everything's all done. That turned out pretty good. And I'm getting this side done and fine-tuned, pinholes, mounting points. Just finishing up all the last bits. Working hard to get all this stuff in primer. Yay, primer. Got all that crap done. So now I'm going to clean up, let that cure, and start on something else. What a mess. And there it is after the primer. Stuck everything back in there. Looks like everything's gonna go pretty well. Kind of laid out some of the stripes, accents that I'm thinking will go on there.